Revolutionary letter number 1. I have just realized that the stakes are myself. I have no other ransom money. Nothing to break or barter but my life, my spirit measured out in bits. Spread over the roulette table, I recoup what I can. Nothing else to shove under the nose of the maitre d' nothing to thrust out the window, no white flag, this flesh, all I have to offer. To make the play with, this immediate head, what it comes up with. My move as we slither over the go board, stepping always, we hope, between the lines. That was revolutionary letter number 1, as I mentioned, the first poem in one of the great books in American letters, Revolutionary Letters by Diane di Prima, who are here to commemorate tonight for some of us, but not all of us. This, what is surely not the last memorial reading for Diane di Prima. I want to thank Jeffrey and Anne at Naropa, Nicole and Kyle and others at St. Mark's Poetry Project, the whole crew at Red May, and I want to thank you all for joining us. My name is Joshua Clover. I'm not going to say anything personal about Diane, as I did not know her as a person, just the writing, which was enough to change me as a person. Several of our readers did know her personally, intimately, and I will leave any reminiscences to them. If you want to know more about her life, you could do worse than read Memoirs of a Beatnik and Recollections of My Life as a Woman. I read the latter book at the same time that I read Asada, and was struck by the fact that of both of them sneaking out of their parents' houses to check out the bohemian life in general, and poetry in particular in downtown New York at about the same time. A missed encounter if there ever was one that echoes in the scene that Diane recounts of taking a cab to 42nd Street disguised in her probably knockoff Chanel dress, and here I quote, to pick up a case of hand grenade shells for Roy. It's hard to know where to go from there, so I will simply express my condolences to her loved ones, admit to my own grief, say how happy I am that we can all be here, and get things started. There are 17 readers with us to commemorate Diane's writing and life. Each will introduce themselves and read a poem or two from Diane's remarkable span of poetry. A couple of our readers are here by video, and there may be a little lagging when we play them, but they'll play. I want to remind our readers who are with us to mute their audio when not speaking. The order that we've arranged is sort of alphabetical, it's sort of random, it's sort of based on time zones. We have readers here from across North America, Turtle Island, from Mexico City and Berlin and Sydney, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some. And our first reader is Juliana Spahr.
I'm going to read Revolutionary Letter number 52 from that book. San Francisco note. I think I'll stay on this earthquake fault near the still active volcano in this armed fortress facing a dying ocean and covered with dirt. While the streets burn up and the rocks fly and pepper gas lays us out, cause that's where my friends are. You bastards. Not that you know what that means. Ain't gonna cop to it, ain't gonna be scared no more. We all know the same songs, mushrooms, butterflies. We all have the same babies, dig it. The woods are big. Thank you.
Warm greetings from Granada. My name is Öykü Tekten. I'm very, very happy to be with you among friends and chosen family. And thank you, Joshua, Red May team, and everyone else who has helped organizing this gathering. I'm going to read one poem Diane wrote last year for the winter solstice. I think first Amiel, then Shep shared this poem with me, and I don't think it's published yet, but I believe it's very timely, or actually a timeless piece that we should be reading over and over again. And I truly hope that this poem lifts your spirit up as much as it does mine. So here it goes. Winter Solstice 2019. The fact is, the light will increase. It always does. Whether we think it should or not, no matter how determined we are to be gloomy. We may be sure that things are worse than ever. We may even be right, but here comes the sun. Try and stop it. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sara Larsen, reaching you from Berlin tonight, where it's 2 in the morning. And I'm so happy that this is happening. Diane was my good friend and my teacher and my family, and she showed me the way in poetry, and I'll love her forever. I'm gonna read Haiti, Chile, Tibet. Let's stop for a moment to remember what we are. A handful of tribes on a rather small rock, where water streams over arable earth into larger living waters we call ocean. And all is not well with our rock. It might even come apart. Could be it will soon be another asteroid belt or meteors, just a bunch of meteors. While our rock is shaking and water pours from the skies and the winds have turned demonic, could be it's time, maybe it's really time to rewrite the social contract, or at least change the rules that apply in catastrophe. Just a few suggestions. 1, all hands on deck means just that. It's a really small planet. 2, anyone bringing help anywhere it's needed, bringing food, blankets, water, medicine is welcome, obviously. Don't ask where they're from, just say thank you. And we'd better learn to say thank you in hundreds of languages. 3, all borders disappear in catastrophe. They are stupid and irrelevant anyway. 4, there is no such thing as looting in a disaster. Think about it. After Katrina, Rita, all the storms, hurricanes, after the quakes in Chile, Haiti, Kobe, Managua, look back a bit. Can you call it looting when anyone breaks plate glass, comes out with food and water, medicine, camping supplies, whatever? Is that looting or just plain sanity? Keeping your family, keeping each other alive. 5, there is no place for police or army in tragedy, except as facilitators, distributors. Unarmed, they should walk the streets, bringing food, putting out fires, digging people out, rescuing those stranded on rooftops or bridges, or fleeing the waters. They should be digging latrines, putting up shelters, helping families find each other. 6, every building still intact should open its doors to everyone. What else are guest rooms for? Whoever comes to your door should be taken in. I learned when I was 4, she's your guest, should be given the best of what you've got, even if you thought she had been your enemy. Not special. It's a universal law and why we're still around. 7, give up confusing your property with your life. Give up confusing your property with your life. This will save a lot of problems. Stuff comes and goes, and holding on is like holding back a river with your hands. 8, stop asking what others believe. Just look into their eyes and see we are the same. They are the same as your most beloved, be it your child, your dog, your lover. No child is hungry who is not your grandchild. How long will you let her wait? No child is orphaned who is not your son. And what will it take to make us remember our own? That's Haiti, Chile, Tibet. I'm gonna read one more. It's called The Poetry Deal. I want to say that I don't want anything but the whisper of your scarf as you do the dance of the 7 veils, soft sound of your satin slippers on the carpet, and the raw, still bloody meat you toss my way that I chew on all night long. I don't want anything you don't already give me. Trips to other worlds, dimensions of light or sound, rides on the backs of leopards, on those black rocks high over some sea or gorge. But it isn't true. I want all of that. Sheet lightning of quasars that you dance between. Those colors, yes, but I want you as mother, sister, stone walls of the cave I lie in trance for 7 days, the mist around my cabin that makes it invisible. I want the flare and counterpoint of words, and I want the nonverbal, what could never be spoken as a foundation. I'd like my daily bread, however you arrange it, and I'd also like to be bread or sustenance for some others, even after I've left. A song they could walk a trail with. I don't think we talked about money or success or fame, whatever that is, for a long time. I hoped you forget about that part. Now I'll do as you say about all that, whatever seems most useful. I'd like to keep learning how to brew bitter herbs and how to make them translucent, edible, almost crystalline. What I offered you wasn't much. You can always wake me like my closest friend or most loved lover. You can burn my favorite snapshot of myself, lead me on paths or non-paths anywhere. You cannot make sense for years, and I'll still believe you. Drop husbands, tribes, and jobs as you wish. You mostly aren't jealous, have taken your place alongside gardens, bread making, children, printing presses. But when your eyes shoot sparks and you say, choose between me and it has always gone, except when it was my kids. I took that risk and we worked it out somehow. Now I've come to a place where there are no kids, no tribe, no bread, no garden, only you in your two faces, formed and formless. Nothing to hold back now and nothing to offer. I stand before you, a piece of wind, with a notebook and pen. Which one of us is it dances and which is the quasar? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Hanif Abdurraqib. I'm in Columbus, Ohio. It is very good to be here among friends and heroes and folks I don't know, but I'm acquainted with through their wonderful work. And it's a special joy to know that we're kind of woven together by our affection for Diane, who through her work taught me a great many things, but I think the most primary thing is that no matter how good the poem is, the poem has limits. And if I am to step outside of the poem, I can at least attempt a goodness or a usefulness that is limitless, particularly when intertwined with intentional, meaningful community. And I try to carry that with me and remember that the work exists elsewhere, not just on the page. I'm gonna just read Prayer to the Mothers. This poem means a great deal to me. They say you lurk here still, perhaps in the depths of the earth or on some sacred mountain. They say you walk still among men, writing signs in the air, in the sand, warning, warning, weaving the crooked shape of our deliverance, anxious, not hasty, careful. You step among cups, step out of crystal, heal with the holy glow of your dark eyes. They say you unveil a green face in the jungle, wear blue in the snows, attend on birth, dance on our dead, croon, fuck, embrace our weariness. You lurk here still, mutter in caves, warn, and weave, warp of our hope, link hands against the evil in the stars. Oh, rain poison upon us, acid which eats clean. Wake us like children from a nightmare. Give the slip to the devourers whom I cannot name, the metal men who walk on all our substance, crushing flesh to swamp. Thank y'all so much.
Hey y'all, my name is Zaina. I'm reaching y'all from Tequesta, Seminole, and Miccosukee territory. I'm really grateful to be here among comrades and, you know, people in struggle, people honoring Diane. definitely returned to her poems a lot this year as a salve during a time of what can sometimes feel like a difficult time for those of us who still believe in building towards revolution. So yeah, just want to dedicate this reading to revolutionaries dead and living, to the people in Palestine, in Chile, and Venezuela, and Cuba, and Haiti, to the people in the prisons. Thanks again for having me. So I'm going to read two from Revolutionary Letters. This first one is Revolutionary Letter number 29. Beware of those who say we are the beautiful losers, who stand in their long hair and wait to be punished, who weep on beaches for our isolation. We are not alone. We have brothers in all the hills. We have sisters in the jungles and in the Ozarks. We even have brothers on the frozen tundra. They sit by their fires, they sing, they gather arms, they multiply. They will reclaim the earth. Nowhere we can go, but they are waiting for us. No exile where we will not hear welcome home. Good morning, sister. Let me work with you. Good morning, brother. Let me fight by your side. And this last one I'm going to read is called Revolutionary Letter number 2. The value of an individual life. A credo they taught us to instill fear and inaction. You only live once. A fog in our eyes. We are endless as the sea, not separate. We die 1,000,000 times a day. We are born 1,000,000 times. Each breath, life and death. Get up, put on your shoes, get started. Someone will finish. Tribe. An organism, one flesh, breathing joy as the stars. Breathe destiny down on us. Get going. Join hands. See to business. Thousands of suns will see to it when you fall. You will grow 1,000 times in the bellies of your sisters. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Lucia Hinojosa. Thank you very much for this invitation. And we are in solidarity with Diane di Prima, and we thank her spirit so much. I'm going to read a poem called Alchemical Signals. Alchemical signals, for instance, the aurora borealis, lightning, a beached whale, the dream you didn't have, or a slip of the tongue. These are signs. Everyone else is telling stories. Signs can't be told, though you can learn to read them. If you're lucky enough to catch one going by, keep it to yourself. Revolutionary Letter number 4. Left to themselves, people grow their hair. Left to themselves, they take off their shoes. Left to themselves, they make love, sleep easily, share blankets, dope, and children. They are not lazy or afraid. They plant seeds, they smile, they speak to one another. The word coming into its own touch of love on the brain, the ear. We return with the sea, the tides. We return as often as leaves, as numerous as grass, gentle, insistent. We remember the way our babes toddle barefoot through the cities of the universe.
Hi all. I'm Jasper Bernes. Really glad to be here. I'm an ardent devotee of the poetry of Diane di Prima. And it's always seemed like her work has crossed all of my social worlds. she's beloved by anarchists and communists and poets and weirdos and hippies, and she seemed to kind of cross every stratum of the century and beyond. I'm going to read two poems from Revolutionary Letters. Revolutionary Letter number 14. Are you prepared to hide someone in your home indefinitely, say 2 to 6 weeks, you going out for food, etc., so he never hits the street, to keep your friends away coolly, so they ask no questions, to nurse him or her as necessary, to know first aid and healing, not to freak out at the sight of torn or half-cooked flesh, to pass him on at the right time to the next station, to cross the Canadian border with a child so that the three of you look like one family, no questions asked or fewer, to stash letters, guns, or bombs, forget about them till they are called for, to keep your mouth shut, not to trust even your true love, that is, lay no more knowledge on him than he needs to do his part of it, a kindness we all must extend to each other in this game. Revolutionary Letter number 12. The vortex of creation is the vortex of destruction. The vortex of artistic creation is the vortex of self-destruction. The vortex of political creation is the vortex of flesh destruction. Flesh is in the fire. It curls and terribly warps. Fat is in the fire. It drips and sizzling sings. Bones are in the fire. They crack tellingly in subtle hieroglyphs of oracle. Charcoal singed, the smell of your burning hair. For every revolutionary must at last will his own destruction, rooted as he is in the past he sets out to destroy. Thanks.
We happen to have a second version of it in Spanish that Lucia recorded for us.
Yeah, sorry.
And this last poem, I will read it in Spanish, translated by the poet David Rojas Azules, from Diane's famous revolutionary letters. Carta revolucionaria número 12. El vórtice de la creación es el vórtice de la destrucción. El vórtice de la creación artística es el vórtice de la autodestrucción. El vórtice de la creación política es el vórtice de la destrucción de la carne. La carne está en el fuego, se riza y se deforma terriblemente. La grasa está en el fuego, gotea y canta ardiente. Los huesos están en el fuego, crujen reveladores en sutiles jeroglíficos de oráculo, de carbón quemado, el olor de tu cabello encendido, pues todo revolucionario debe desear finalmente su propia destrucción, arraigado como está en el pasado que se dispone a destruir. Gracias.
Hi, I'm Andrew Brooks. I'm talking to you from unceded Wongal land in Sydney. And I'm extremely grateful to be here and to listen to everyone read these poems, these incredible poems, and to come together to, collectively imagine a different world together. It's so wonderful to be able to do so and to commemorate in this way. So thanks to everyone who's pulled this together. I feel like I've learnt an incredible amount from these poems, and I'm extremely grateful for the fierce commitment of them. I return to them often in different contexts. They're poems, I think, to be read alongside organising, poems to teach us how to keep fighting, poems that remind us who our enemies are, poems that remind us how to love our friends, poems that contain a promise of revolution, and above all else, poems that remain committed to the idea that another way of living is possible, one in which we might share in each other's needs. So I'm really, really grateful to be here, and I'm going to read 2 of the revolutionary letters. I'll start with number 3. Store water. Make a point of filling your bathtub at the first news of trouble. They turned off the water in the 4th ward for a whole day during the Newark riots. Or better yet, make a habit of keeping the tub clean and full when it is not in use. Change this once a day. It should be good enough for washing, flushing toilets when necessary, and cooking in a pinch. But it's a good idea to keep some bottled water handy too. Get a couple of 5-gallon jugs and keep them full for cooking. Store food, dry stuff like rice and beans stores best, goes farthest. Salt, very important. It's health and energy, healing too. Keep a couple pounds sea salt around, and because we're spoiled, some tins, tuna, etc., to keep up morale. Keep up the sense of balanced diet, protein intake. Remember, the stores may be closed for quite some time. The trucks may not enter your section of the city for weeks. You can cool it indefinitely with 20 pounds brown rice, 20 pounds whole wheat flour, 10 pounds cornmeal, 10 pounds good beans, kidney or soy, 5 pounds sea salt, 2 quarts good oil. Dried fruit and nuts add nutrients and a sense of luxury to this diet. A squash or coconut in a cool place in your pad will keep 6 months. Remember, we are all used to eating less than the average American. And take it easy. Before we ever notice we're hungry, the rest of the folk will be starving, used as they are to meat and fresh milk daily. And help will arrive until the day no help arrives, and then you're on your own. Hoard matches. We aren't good at rubbing sticks together anymore. A tinder box is useful if you can work it. Don't count on gas stove, gas heater, electric light. Keep hibachi and charcoal starter a help. Kerosene lamp and candles. Learn to keep warm with breathing. Remember the blessed American habit of bundling. And number 46. And as you learn the magic, learn to believe it. Don't be surprised when it works. You undercut your power. Thanks so much.
My name is Tongo Eisen-Martin, and these are Revolutionary Letters 9 and 25. Advocating the overthrow of government is a crime. Overthrowing it is something else altogether. It is sometimes called revolution. But don't kid yourself. Government is not where it's at. It's only a good place to start. 1, kill head of Dow Chemical. 2, destroy plant. 3, make it unprofitable for them to build again, i.e., destroy the concept of money as we know it. Get rid of interest, savings, inheritance. Pounds money is dated coupons that come in the mail to everyone and are void in 30 days is still a good idea. Or let's start with no money at all and invent it if we need it. A mimeograph it and everyone print as much as they want and see what happens. Declare a moratorium on debt. The Continental Congress did on all debts, public and private. And no one owns the land. It can be held for use. No man holding more than he can work, himself and family working. Let no one work for another except for love. And what you make above your needs to be given to the tribe, a commonwealth. None of us know the answers. Think about these things. The day will come and we have to know the answers. Know every way out of your house, where it goes, every alley on the block, which backyards connect, which walls are scalable, which bushes will hold them in. Construct at least one man-sized hiding place in your walls. Know for sure which neighbors will let you sneak in the back door and saunter out the front, while the man is parked in your driveway or tearing your pad apart, which neighbors won't be home, which cellar doors are open, whom you can summon in your neighborhood to do your errands, check the block, set up a getaway while you sit tight inside and your house is watched.
Hi, I'm Harmony Holiday, and I'm going to be reading a couple of the Revolutionary Letters. What I love about, I came to Diane through Mary's work, and what I love about both of them is how they include taboos and things you don't normally find in poems, which I'll read a couple letters that do that. Revolutionary letter number 5. At some point, you may be called upon to keep going for several days without sleep. Keep some ups around to be clear-headed. Avoid come down as much as possible. Take vitamin B along with amphetamines. Try powdered guarana root, available at herb drugstores. It's an up, used by Peruvian mountain folk, tastes like mocha, bitter. Can be put in tea, will clear your head, increase oxygen supply, keep you going past amphetamine wooziness. At some point, you may have to crash under tension, keep some downs on hand. You may have to cool out sickness or freak out or sorrow, keep some downs on hand. I don't mean tranquilizers, the old-fashioned sleeping pill. Sleep heals heads, heals souls. Chloral hydrate, Mickey Finn, one of the best, but Nambutal, etc. Okay in a pinch. Remember, no liquor or barbiturates. At some point, you will need painkillers, Darwin, a glorified shit, stash some codeine and remember. It's about 5 times more effective if taken with aspirin, ups and downs, and painkillers are the essence, antibiotics for extreme infections. Any good wide spectrum one will do. Avoid penicillin, too many allergies. Speaking of which, cortisone is good if you have really bad attacks. Someone who freaks out asthma style or with hives. Use all these as little as possible. Side effects, multifarious, and they could be. And they cloud the brain, tend to weaken the body and obscure judgment. Ginseng tea, ginger compresses, sea salt, prayer, and love are better healers, easier to come by. Save the others for life and death trips. You'll know when you see one. And I'll read number 43. The map. First goal is health. Strong bodies make strong spirit, Venceremos Brigade. Come back from Cuba, discover they know how to breathe. They can get up with the sun. First thing to zap the sugar habit, get rid of meat, heavy drugs, eat no chemicals, no processed food. First step to find out what health feels like. Even keel, tireless energy pouring steady through, then prana, vital energy moving through all your flesh. Next goal, release sex force. Strong flesh becomes bright flesh. Anger becomes Buddha anger. A steady roar, righteous behind your action, not spasmodic, threatens no self-destruction. Loose touch on brothers and sisters, loose force and contain it. Holy power to build up or pull down.
Hi, my name's Astrid Lorange. I'm calling today from unceded Wongal country in Sydney's inner west, and it's so lovely to be here with everyone across time and space. Thank you to Joshua and the Red May team, and to all of you for reading and listening. And thank you to Diane di Prima for the poetry and for a guiding light. I'm going to read 2 revolutionary letters. The first one is number 22. What do you want your kids to learn? Do you care if they know factoring, chemical formulae, theory of numbers, equations, philosophy, semantics, symbolic logic, Latin, history, so-called, which is merely history of mind of Western man, least interesting of numberless manifestations on this planet? Or do you care if he learns to eat off the woods, to set a broken arm, to mend his own clothes, cook simple food, deliver a calf or baby? If there are cars, should he not be able to keep his running? How will he learn these things? Will he learn them cut off in a plaster box, encased in a larger cement box called school, dealing with paper from morning till night, grinding no clay or mortar, no pigment, setting no seedlings in black earth come spring? How will he know to trap a rabbit, build a raft, to navigate by stars or find safe ground to sleep on? What is he doing all his learning years inside, as if the planet were no more than a vehicle for carrying our plastic constructs around the sun? And the second is revolutionary letter number 44, for my sisters. As we know that blood is birth, agony breaks open doors, as we can bend graciously beneath burdens, undermine like rain or earthworms, as our cries yield to the cries of the newborn, as we hear the plea in the voices around us, not words of passion or cunning, discount anger or pride, grow strong in our own strength. Women's alchemy, quick arms to pull down walls. We liberate out of our knowledge, labor, sucking babes. We liberate and nourish as the earth. Thanks so much, everyone.
Hello, everyone. I'm Noland. I am in Brooklyn. Very happy to be with all of you all over the world. It's a very powerful thing. I'm going to read 2 poems from Loba. The Loba priestess as bag lady utters ragged warnings. Don't cheapen Aphrodite. Don't sell the object she holds in her hands. Don't demand that she show herself naked. Take the cloak along with her. Welcoming folds of the robe, she is bright. She is bright, too bright. You don't understand, can't guess, have never taken off your glasses. These strong and cute stories of Demeter will slay like a boomerang. Don't reveal the eternal, feminine, kuntuzangmo. Be careful, a little. You are so proud with your careful, tailored ways, clipped prose telling of Artemis, of Ishtar. Beware, the popular tales you like to spread of Isis will spread like fire, like wildfire. Your gut has proposed itself for calmer usage. Don't invite tsunami, firestorm, Asher, Mother Mamaki. They have kindly robed themselves, hidden. They are not your toys. And the second one is called She Who. She whose face we have never seen. She whose body is door to the world. She whose black thighs gleam with oil, with fat and blood. She whose laughter is the earthquake. She whose inhalation is the end of time. Who can compass her round with his arms? Who can penetrate to the depth of her desire? Stars are the seed pearls she sets on her flesh. They are the milk of her breasts and the juice of her love. Her orgasm shakes the dark worlds to their depths. The Lord of the dead stirs uneasy on his throne. He is one of the teeth in her mouth. Her daughters stream with flaming hair from the portals of hell. They are goddesses we can name. We name them Nut, we name them Kali, Olokun, Omphale, and Mara. It is at their hands that the gods of men receive power. Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is Maryam Parhizkar sending this to you from Lenape King, also known in this part as Jersey City. I really wish I could be with you all live to honor and celebrate and remember the fierce, brilliant flame that continues to be Diane di Prima, that really helps us burn our way, that will continue helping us burn our way, I think, through this dismal world. I'm going to read a poem that at this point I'm finding myself thinking about every day. It's Revolutionary Letter number 75, also known as Rant. You cannot write a single line without a cosmogony laid out before all eyes. And there's no part of yourself you can separate out, saying this is memory, this is sensation, this is the work I care about, this is how I make a living. It is whole, it is a whole, it always was whole. You do not make it so. There's nothing to integrate. You are a presence. You are an appendage of the work. The work hangs from the heaven you create. Every man, every woman carries a firmament inside, and the stars in it are not the stars in the sky. Without imagination, there's no memory. Without imagination, there's no sensation. Without imagination, there's no will, desire. History is a living weapon in your hand, and you have imagined it. It is thus that you find out for yourself. History is the dream of what can be. It is the relation between things in a continuum. Of imagination, what you find out for yourself is what you select out of an infinite sea of possibility. No one can inhabit your world, yet it is not lonely. Yet it is not lonely. The ground of imagination is fearlessness. Discourse is videotape of a movie of a shadow play, but the puppets are in your hand. Your counters in a multidimensional chess, which is divination and strategy. The war that matters is the war against the imagination. All other wars are subsumed in it. The ultimate famine is the starvation of the imagination. It is death, to be sure, but the undead seek to inhabit someone else's world. The ultimate claustrophobia is the syllogism. The ultimate claustrophobia is it all adds up. Nothing adds up, and nothing stands in for anything else. The only war that matters is the war against the imagination. The only war that matters is the war against the imagination. The only war that matters is the war against the imagination. All other wars are subsumed in it. There's no way out of the spiritual battle. There's no way you can avoid taking sides. There's no way you cannot have a poetics. No matter what you do, plumber, baker, teacher, you do it in the consciousness of making or not making your world. You have a poetics. You step into the world like a suit of ready-made clothes. Or you etch in light. Your firmament spills into the shape of your room, the shape of the poem, of your body, of your loves. A woman's life, a man's life, is an allegory. Dig it. There's no way out of the spiritual battle. The war is the war against the imagination. You can't sign up as a conscientious objector. The war of the worlds hangs here, right now, in the balance. It is a war for this world, to keep it a veil of soul-making. The taste in all our mouths is a taste of power, and it is bitter as death. Bring yourself home to yourself. Enter the garden. The guy at the gate with a flaming sword is yourself. The war is for the human. The war is the war for the human imagination, and no one can fight it but you, and no one can fight it for you. The imagination is not only holy, it is precise. It is not only fierce, it is practical. Men die every day for the lack of it. It is vast and elegant. Intellectus means light of the mind. It is not discourse, it is not even language, the inner sun. The polis is constellated around the sun. The fire is central. Long live Diane di Prima. Long live the riotous imagination everywhere. Sending love to you all.
Hello, friends, comrades. Coming to you from Denver, occupied Ute, Cheyenne, and Arapaho territory. I'm Jeffrey Pethybridge, and I teach at Naropa, and a lot, increasingly, I've been trying to think along with di Prima about how to keep that place a site of study. And by that, I mean a collaboration into the possibility of living otherwise. Tonight, I'll read two of the revolutionary letters, 64, then 68. Revolutionary Letter 64, for Camilla Hall. The Holocaust moves towards its own ends. The rose will bloom in the lotus pond. The lotus will flower on the rose tree. In the enclosed garden, which is the garden of mirrors, a temple of mist rises. Revolutionary Letter number 68, Life Chant. May it come that all the radiances will be known as our own radiance. Tibetan Book of the Dead. Cacophony of small birds at dawn. May it continue. Sticky monkeys, flowers on bare brown hills. May it continue. Bitter taste of early miners' lettuce. May it continue. Music on city streets in the summer nights. May it continue. Kids laughing on roofs, on stoops, on the beach, in the snow. May it continue. Triumphal shout of the newborn. May it continue. Deep silence of great rainforests. May it continue. Rolling fuck of great whales and turquoise ocean. May it continue. Clumsy splash of pelican in smooth bays. May it continue. Astonished human eyeball squinting through eons at astonished nebulae. who squint back. May it continue. Clean snow on the mountain, may it continue. Fierce eyes, clear light of the aged, may it continue. Right of birth and of naming, may it continue. Right of instruction, may it continue. Right of passions, may it continue. Love in the morning, love in the noon sun, love in the evening among crickets, may it continue. Long tales by fire, by window, in fog, in dusk of the mesa, may it continue. Love in thick midnight, fierce joy of old ones loving, may it continue. The night music, may it continue. Grunt of mating hippo, giraffe, foreplay of snow leopard, screeching of cats on the backyard fence, may it continue. Without police, may it continue. Without prisons, may it continue. Without hospitals, death medicine, flu and flu vaccine, may it continue. Without madhouses, marriage, high schools that are prisons, may it continue. Without empire, may it continue. In sisterhood, may it continue through the wars to come. May it continue in brotherhood. May it continue though the earth seem lost. May it continue through exile and silence. May it continue with cunning and love. May it continue as a woman continues. May it continue as breath continues, as stars continue. May it continue. May the wind deal kindly with us. May the fire remember our names. May springs flow, rain fall again. May the land grow green. May it swallow our mistakes. We begin the work. May it continue. The great transmutation, may it continue. A new heaven and a new earth, may it continue. May it continue. Memory eternal, Diane.
Hi, I'm Wendy Trevino, and I'm going to be reading Revolutionary Letter 48 and Revolutionary Letter 109. So, Revolutionary Letter 48. Be careful. With what relief do we fall back on the tales so often told in revolutions that now we must organize, obey the rules so that later we can be free. It is the point at which the revolution stops, to be carried forward later and in another country. This is the pattern, but we can break the pattern. Learn now we see with all our skin, smell with our eyes too, sense and sex are boundless, and the call is to be boundless in them. Make the joy now that we want, no shape for space and time now, but the shapes we will. And this is Revolutionary Letter 109. For Annie Banks. Choose your battles, pick your shots. You have only so much ammunition. Where will it do the most damage? Thank you.
Revolutionary Letter number 15. When you take Colombia, when you seize Paris, take the media, tell the people what you're doing, what you're up to and why, and how you mean to do it, how they can help. Keep the news coming, steady. You have 70 years of media conditioning to combat. It is a wall you must get through somehow to reach the instinctive man who is struggling like a plant for light, for air. When you seize a town, a campus, get hold of the power stations, the water, the transportation. Forget to negotiate. Forget how to negotiate. Don't wait for de Gaulle or Kirk to abdicate. They won't. You are not demonstrating. You are fighting a war. Fight to win. Don't wait for Johnson or Humphrey or Rockefeller to agree to your terms. Take what you need. It's free because it's yours.
So in the last year or so, Diane's hands got more arthritic and she could no longer work in long lines. So she adapted, as she always has. First, I'll read from a group of mostly 3-line poems called The Goodbyes. Gary Snyder. Now you see him, mountain bear. Now you don't. Joanne Kiger. Like the nasturtiums around her house, she hangs in. For Diane's friend, Fang. Green braids, the Dharma tattooed on her arms, she tours the bardos. Bill Berkson. Who's the shyest? You get the Oscar for the most elegant. This is one of the few that is slightly longer. For Bukowski, quote, "You bitch, you upstaged me," he snarled as we passed on the stairs of some LA nightclub. It was the unveiling of a new revolutionary letter. The Living Theater was in jail in Brazil. "Free them," I wrote. The next one she sent to me, and at the top it just said, "Is this a goodbye poem or a dawn poem?" At dawn, the mist drifts into my room, trailing spirits. Dawn poems. Dawn woke me early to go to a rehearsal of Macbeth. Tomorrow and tomorrow, and the sun was in my eyes. Pain, cold, confusion are the disguises worn by this dawn. Dawn is a robin's egg, pale blue, in which dawn I lie. Dawn, disguised as a nurse, brought me morphine on a white tray. Last one, The Goodbyes, June 17th, 2020, for Diane di Prima. Yamantaka came and got her. Thank you all so much for doing this.
Dharma sister, goddess, radical, extraordinary poet, and great countercultural giant. So, and I love that you use this, The Stakes Are Myself, showing her amazing connection to self-reliance, and it's so important to be empowered. We have to hold on to our minds at this time. And I was conversation with Andrew Schelling talking about the timing of the delisting. You know, Trump has just delisted the wolves, and this is 4 days after Diane's death. And she wrote the great epic, Loba. I was so happy to hear reading from that. And the fact that David Bernhardt is actually an illegal appointment by Trump, clearly in the pockets of lobbyists for hunters. And people are already lining up for permits. So could be a long time for a new administration to reverse this. We have to stay really awake and alert. And then Andrew pointed out that the gray wolf was put on the endangered species list in 1973, which the first year of the copyright of portions of Loba. So want to think about that a little bit. And also, so many people I've spoken with in the last days wanted to send their love and support, and from Peter Wilson, Stephen Taylor, a lot of our faculty, students, people all over the world, actually. So I'm going to read, and also how relevant she is. We've been dealing with the fires, as you have in California, and that wonderful, which is at number 18, I think, talking about getting your car wheels together and getting your, your survival kit. So, these things keep coming back from the letters of how to live in these times. And my nephew, who's very involved with Black Lives and abolition in New York, so many people know and invoke her poetry in the struggle. Okay, I'll go to Ave. Oh, lost moon sisters, crescent in hair, sea underfoot, do you wander? In blue veil and green leaf and tattered shawl, do you wander? With gold leaf skin, with flaming hair, do you wander on Avenue B? On Bleecker Street, do you wander? On Rampart Street, on Fillmore Street, do you wander? With flower wreath, with jeweled breath, do you wander? Footprints, shining mother of pearl, behind you, moonstone eyes in which the crescent moon, with gloves, with hat, in rags, in fur, in beads, under the waning moon, hair streaming in black rain, wailing with stray dogs, hissing in doorways, shadows you are that fall on the crossroads, highways, jaywalking do you wander, spitting do you wander, mumbling and crying do you wander, aged and talking to yourselves, with roving eyes do you wander, hot for quick love do you wander, weeping you're dead, naked you walk, swathed in long robes you walk, swaddled in death shroud you walk, backwards you walk, hungry, 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 shrieking I hear you, singing I hear you, cursing I hear you, praying I hear you. You lie with the unicorn, you lie with the cobra, you lie in the dry grass, you lie with the yeti, you flick long cocks of satyrs with your tongue. You are armed, you drive chariots, you tower above me, you are small, you cower on hillsides, out of the winds. Pregnant you wander, barefoot you wander, battered by drunk men you wander. You kill on steel tables, you birth in black beds, fetus you tore out stiffens in snow. It rises like new moon, you moan in your sleep. Digging for yams, you wander. Looking for dope, you wander. Playing with birds, you wander. Chipping in stone, you wander. I walk the long night seeking you. I climb the sea crest seeking you. I lie on the prairie, batter at stone gates, calling your names. You are coral, you are lapis and turquoise. Your brain curls like shell. You dance on hills. Hard substance woman, you whirl. You dance on subways. You sprawl in tenements. Children lick at your tits. You are the hills, the shape and color of mesa. You are the tent, the lodge of skins, the hogan, the buffalo robes, the quilt, the knitted Afghan. You are the cauldron in the evening star. You rise over the sea, you ride the dark. I move within you like the evening fire. I dip my hand in you and eat your flesh. You are my mirror image and my sister. You disappear like smoke on misty hills. You lead me through dream forest on horseback. Large gypsy mother, I lean my head on your back. I am you and I must become you. I have been you and I must become you. I am always you and I must become you. Aya, aya, ah, aya, aya, maya, ma. Maya ma om, star mother ma om, Maya ma ah. And just quickly, this last death shunyata chant a right for passing over. I'd like to read this for Shepherd, and invoking this piece a lot in these during her 3 days in the Bardo, and sure she has had the map down and she's out here back at work. Is there a pure land? We release the spirit, send it flying into the Buddha's heart. Everything is illusion. If there are angels, will they carry you singing into the presence? I am confident. If the flesh is light, fire is a lover. If the ashes are scattered seeds on the wind or planted in the earth, if all the 5 elements are wisdom dakinis, and I am confident that all is well. What shape, size, glaze will you take in the potter's hands? What realm emerge in? If the paths of the Bardo are glorious or frightening, if the light and sound is deafening, overwhelming, everything is illusion. If there is only extinction and total dark, if we circle through forms throughout the galaxy, if we must now return to Sirius, continue our evolution, I am confident that all is well. If you will be judged by a bureaucratic God, or wear golden shoes in the golden fields of the Lord, or carry to death your guilt at kinky sex, if the faces you hallucinate are a last judgment, everything is illusion. The bodhisattvas, adepts, the magical teachers, lotus paradises, pearly gates, and all the realms of Satan, the name of confusion and the name of wisdom, both blow away on the wind. The night of Brahma lasts 1,000 eons. The worlds are born and die 60 times a second. Valhalla and the land of the ghost dancers, the spiritual journeys under other stars, all shift and fade, flicker and reemerge. They are all an ancestral dream time. Do you see? The black air that rattles in the back of your throat is transparent. A window on an unspeakable energy dance, vortex of Isis, Shiva, Hayagriva, Olokun. The ambrosia of Kali is just this bitter taste, bile at the back of the tongue. Awareness focuses as the vision fades. Everything is illusion, but I am confident that all is well. Travel safely, Diane. Glad you're in our world.
That was amazing. That was the metalist thing I've ever heard. I want to say that in this time where people are really missing each other, there's something powerful about coming together with friends and comrades to share in missing one person. The missing has just begun, but Diane will always be with us. I want to thank all our participants for taking time to join us and to memorialize Diane. I want to thank again Naropa and St. Mark's Poetry Project and Red May for supporting this. And I want to thank everyone who was able to join us this evening and share this occasion. We're all thinking of you. We're all thinking of Diane and her loved ones. And I wish everyone a good night. Thanks again.